Fallout's actually pretty easy, to be honest.
6 is coming.
Yeah, Fallout's like pretty easy, to be honest.
With the advent of Jump Festa this weekend, we are at our regular 2-year cycle for radical, game-changing design and update.
What? Oh my god, Nadir! What is the problem with this video, chat? We're 10 seconds in and he already made a mistake. Cycles in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are not 2 years, they're 3 years, bro. That every era in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is... No, it's not clickbaiting. It's like, you already made a mistake. Like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Cycles, if you want to say era, they're not 2 years, they're 3 years. GX was like 2008, or excuse me, 2005, like 2008, and it's like 2008 to like 2011. Seven's anime, yeah, but the era went longer than the anime, right? Like the Seven's anime has been over for a while, but like the era hasn't started. I didn't know you had one of these rescue rabbits.
Master rules.
And it doesn't matter. Yu-Gi-Oh! Eras are not 2 years, chat. They're 3. Actually, you can think of it like this. There's 12 core. I think he means 2 years until new ones announced. I guess. There's 12 core sets, chat, in every era of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? 12 core sets. 12 sets every 4 months. 3 years. Pretty basic math.
6 is coming. With the advent of Jump Festa this weekend, we are at our regular 2-year cycle for radical, game-changing design and updates in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the event where we had pendulums and, of course, link summoning. We don't talk about pre-link summoning revisions.
So here we see Toon Cannon Soldier, and now this is the combo game because he can just tribute off the Mermaid,
We
summon
didn't
a
get
Dark
anything
World,
at this event either.
bounce for Grapha.
Because I didn't...
And
this
rinse and repeat.
weekend?
And it looks like Matthew's acknowledging that. So Jesse just showing and offering the handshake, and there it is.
Oops. What is Jump Festa? Well, it's anime. You know, cartoons, Full Metal Jacket, Demon Player, the usual culprits. Usually, the biggest announcements of the game, like I mentioned, come during the Jump Festa, so unless the pattern is changing after all this time, it's very likely something big could be happening with Yu-Gi-Oh! This year. I decided to get your feedback to try and find out what the best suggestions could be
Probably
for
from
a
Twitter,
Master
maybe.
Rule 6 update in Yu-Gi-Oh!
event
What
was
will
a-
it
this
be?
event was a
Defense
scam.
position field spells, link arrow trap cards, or my personal favorite.
How about, okay, a third pendulum scale?
I really hope not. I mean, Triff can
Oh,
barely
what?
count to.
Okay, a third pendulum scale.
I really hope.
A third pendulum scale. That's literally not how pendulums work. And I'm not even talking about the cards. I'm talking about, like, pendulum, the actual, like, thing. Like, I mean, I think hyper summon worse. But that's
No,
just
I
me.
mean, Triff can barely count to potato. If you've been enjoying my content, then oh boy, you've become a part of an amazing, dignified boys club alongside our new Patreons, Apollyon, Muhammad, and that boy Schwally. Please don't sign up with any weird names going forward. Thank you.
Chat, quick question. Should I plug my Patreons at the beginning of... Or should I mention Patreon at the beginning of my videos? Because I haven't gotten any new patrons. I haven't gotten any new ones. Like, should I? I mean, I think them at the end of the videos, but like... And it's the #1 thing under my video is like my... Yeah, it's just like this. Is my patrons the #1 link. Yes, you suck at advertising.
And of course, just one final meme suggestion. The Burst Summon. Burst monsters, like a pendulum monster, they have a secondary lore box. It's a text box, not a lore box.
Red cards.
Holy shit, Burst Summon jumps
Hold on. So they Burst Summon has rank, not level?
box.
Okay, I'm trying to just decipher this. They have Burst Summon is rank, because this means rank, not level. Stole your idea. Second, what's it called? Well, so what I was gonna do with the hyper summon, no, stealing the red card idea is only so many colors left, chat. Like, what do we even have left? Yellow, red, pink, silver. Like, it's not really that many colors left. Red is just the most natural. Although they did blue twice for some reason. Yellow is normal. We still play those? Like, we still play those normal monsters? Like, okay, I guess I just forgot about those as like a thing. Anyways. So the idea of the hyper summon is that to summon them, to like make material, it was going to be similar to Link. Because like they definitely were not going to be like two monsters of, how do I explain this? It was going to be like Link, but like way less broken to where like you couldn't spam them. But I wanted it to be like Pendulum Chat, where like when a hyper summon monster is destroyed, it goes to like the extra deck. So it is kind of like a pendulum. It doesn't just die forever. Or maybe it goes to the graveyard. I don't know. Graveyards can be abused so much. Like maybe the extra deck. Anyways.
Holy shit, burst summon jump scare. Some people would argue that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has in fact gotten a little bit too complicated. You can probably make the argument that Konami has actually been trying to dumb down the game over the last few years, reversing the Link rules with Master Rule revisions, introducing speed duels as well, for example, leads credence to this theory.
Is this Metal Gear?
You're finally awake.
It's not.
Simpler times. You know, back in my day,
I love Far
the
From.
extra monster zone was, Distant chimes in with new changes. None. We have reached...
No, not feeling that, Coder. If you don't want to add anything, like add more, but like we need to take something out. We literally got no. Well, you don't know that until what's the next core set in the OCG chat? Oh, they just announced it. It has the word duelist in it because all the green sets have duelist. Duelist Nexus, I believe that's what it's called. Chat. I think it's the. I know, but that doesn't mean that they can't announce anything else. And actually, now that I'm thinking about this event, that is where they announced the Link summon or the Link mechanic because I remember I did a video on it and it got like 1 billion comments. I think it got 5,000 comments. Until Duelist Nexus, like the cover card is announced, chat, I'm gonna say on the, like, it's still on the table that we could get something. Starlight Golden Lord, yeah, I posted that on
sort
Twitter.
of critical mass with Yu-Gi-Oh! While individually, each mechanic and each rule is quite simple.
Duelist
One
Nexus.
normal summon per turn. Quick plays work like trap cards, but also spell cards. Counter traps are spell speed 3. Synchro summoning requires a tuner and a non-tuner that add up to a level. Nothing I just said is particularly difficult to understand in isolation. But when you compound this all together over the course of 15 years, this becomes a massive learning curve, and it's very difficult to absorb, process, and memorize all of this as a completely new player.
Hello,
For example,
Kalam,
the
how are you?
COVID babies, the people who started playing at the start of lockdown in 2020. I know people with actual regional tops today that don't know how to pendulum summon. Just never needed to learn it. Didn't come up because the deck sucks. So I personally feel like the correct direction
I'm doing
is
okay.
less is
This has been a
more.
good stream.
But of course,
Bad week, but good
some of
stream.
you will disagree. They will announce the ban list reserve list.
Yo! Y'all see who it is? Master Dinnerflax. Good stuff. This is cool. They will announce the ban list reserve list, a list of cards that are never allowed on the ban list contractually. So it's just satire. And the first one will be everyone's favorite field spell, Mystic Mine. Oh, wait, I don't understand. They will announce the ban list, reserve list, a card. Wait a minute. This comment is from November. I'm like, what? Like, so is this was before Mystic Mine got banned? Okay, because I'm like, this doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, no, I get that it's Mystic Mine, but like Flax is implying that they can't ban but like Mystic Mine is banned. So like Farfa, like how long ago did these comments like come from?
A list of cards that are never allowed on the ban list contractually.
Yeah,
and
like,
the first one will be everyone's favorite
boring.
field spell. This one sure aged like milk. Oh, and a reserve
there you
list.
go.
What could possibly go wrong? I'm sure this has never been done in another card game, to the great dismay of the community years later. Master Rule 6. Players can only summon X times per turn. You don't...
It's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible idea. Players can only summon X. I'm just saying, it's not a terrible idea, bro. Or, I was gonna say, do you get 2 normal summons instead of special summons? But, like, what deck would benefit from that? what deck would benefit from having 2, like, Flunder already get unlimited normal summons? Like, there's, like, no deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! That benefits from more normal summons instead of special summons. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think
I don't know how many times I've seen this come up over the years. This is almost as much of a miss as Harry Kane's penalty against France. Limiting the number of summons won't really help fix power creep or the speed of the game. Some decks special summon a lot, but don't really achieve much. Other decks barely special summon and really put up an annoying board.
Flunder.
Invoked can put up an okay board with like 2 summons. Ritual Beast summon 19 times to search 1 pop. It's about how you use your summon.
I hate to say this, chat. I think Nadir's making a pretty good point. Yeah, I think Nadir's making a pretty good point. Although, maybe you could argue, like, every archetype that he's talking, like, some of these have just been power crap, but, like, in a vacuum, he's making a very strong point. Like, there are a lot of, like, Burning Abyss has to summon 1 billion times to do, like, nothing. You know what I mean? Eldritch can summon 0 times in its first turn and do everything. You know what I mean? Like, someone did suggest 2 normal summons, main phase 1 and main phase. Well, I feel like it has to be like, there has to be a sacrifice. So, because if you're just adding another normal summon, that's probably just a second normal summon for no reason. That's probably a terrible thing. Because there are decks like Pendulums that, like, oh, I get another normal, so I get to summon Joker again. You know what I mean? Because you imperm the first, like, that's probably bad. But if it comes at the sacrifice of something, like, then it's probably good.
Not how big it... God damn it. Sex in Yu-Gi-Oh! Least horny Dragon Maid player. Necro's trap card. Yeah,
Shut
let's
up,
dedicate
no.
an entire festival announcement rule change to 1 card.
Going
For those
sick.
of you that really want the context, Necros of Colossal is a ritual monster that says you can discard it to search any Necros spell from your deck to your hand. In 2015, almost 8 years ago, Konami printed Colossal in the Secret Forces with the text specifically saying that you can search any Necros spell / trap card. Where is it, Konami? Colossal is legally enough to go to school now. I'm pretty sure.
Is that a video? This Yu-Gi-Oh! Effect shouldn't technically exist, but it does. I don't know. Like, is that a video? Colossal actually does it. It searches a trap, but, like, I guess there just is no Necros trap. Like, 10 years. Huh? That's interesting.
Sure, at this point, it's legally old enough to join
that
the
does sound like a good idea for sure.
American military as well. Mystic Mine to 4. I only have a suggestion. 1 normal summon per main phase. You know, at first I actually...
Did you watch this video, Selza? That's literally what you just said. 1 normal summon per main phase.
actually scoffed at this like, typical Farfa viewer. Have you been eating the crayons again? But if you actually think about it for a second, this is kind of cool. So many decks completely fall apart to a singular disruption on the 1 normal summon. What if you could just go again, with the trade-off being that you have to sacrifice your battle phase? And most importantly, there is no main phase 2 going first, meaning that this gives a significant game mechanic boost for going second. Something...
Oh... Because I was going to say the battle phase doesn't matter, but it kind of does. Because I feel like Runic kind of proved that, like, it's hella annoying, chat, not having a battle phase. Like, once you commit to, like, I feel like you just have to commit to that shit forever. But yeah, that's a good point. Because it wouldn't work turn 1 or turn 0 because you just don't have a battle phase. That's actually, this is pretty good.
Which has very rarely been optimal to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Giving a boost to going second, I actually don't think is too bad of an idea if you're also sacrificing your battle phase.
Yeah.
Speaking of battle phase, Battle Overhaul. Monsters in this game stand there menacingly and are just glorified effects. Battle is so stale or only used to quickly normal summon to attack over a barrier statue. If you really think about it, the battle phase is unnecessarily complicated with 7 total sub-steps dedicated to it just to resolve a singular punch to the face.
It is.
Like, I'm just trying to dark magic attack here, not...
Well, actually, you must perform damage calculation and before the damage step, at which point the monster effect resolves after when it just flips face up.
Hard ones...
I'll say this. For Yu-Gi-Oh! So, like, other games, chat, the battle phase... You guys ever played Cardfight Vanguard? When I plugged Cardfight Vanguard, chat, whatever it was called... their battle phase was as confusing as Yu-Gi-Oh! but the battle phase was like literally the win condition. Like you had to like damage your opponent's like boss monster 6 times to win. So it's like literally how you win the game, and once you damage their monster gets like stronger. So like the battle phase in that game is like everything. So it made sense that it's like that complicated. For Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like, not really. You know what I mean? Like, monsters don't really put up that much of a fight. You know what I mean? Like, it really is complicated for like no reason. And a lot of this stuff, like, you know, doesn't even get used.
Per turn master rule. I think I've seen people suggest this a lot next to the summoning sickness or limited number of summons suggestion. While this would
Flips face up.
hard once per turn master rule. I think I've seen people suggest this a lot next.
Oh, okay. So this is suggesting, chat, that every card in Yu-Gi-Oh become a hard once per turn. I mean, that probably wouldn't hurt the game, to be honest. It would take out a lot of the, you know, Luna Light Tigers and shit like the Fairy Tale Snows. You could definitely adjust the ban list. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I can't say that that's honestly, because you just have a certain point in Yu-Gi-Oh where like every card for the most part just became a hard once per turn. Except like these super, super, super rare exceptions. Luna Light Tiger, Sky Striker, Mobilize, Engage. And then it's like you had to ban those cards anyways. So shouldn't they have just been hard once per turns? Because like you ended up banning, yeah, Fairy Tale Snow. Like most of those cards ended up getting banned because they weren't hard once per turns. So, you know what I mean? Like maybe, you know, the old exploitable cards of Divine Warrior Blade or Divine Warrior Phoenix Blade, like that card's banned in the OCG if you guys don't know, you know? I think that card is still
summoning
nuts.
sickness or limited number of
Level
summon
Eater.
suggestion.
Yeah.
While this would obviously be a massive fix to certain broken interactions,
Totally
and
Awesome is trash now. Not trash. It's just not broken anymore because it, like with Elf, it just wouldn't be insane because you were born and it just doesn't do anything.
cards from like 2007 becoming
Hurts a lot of
relevant again with
casual
nowhere
decks.
near the design intention that they originally had. This would ruin so many cards who have a non-once per turn clause as part of an integral strategy. The Synchro Ignister monster, Sky Striker Engage, the Agent of Venus, Ronin
They ask you how you are, you just have to
But
say
that's the thing though. Were these these cards intended to be used like this though? Were you intended to like engage and engage and engage? Like is that how you were supposed to like play the deck, chat? Where it's like activate engage, draw a card, go for Kagari, activate engage again, draw and engage, activate it again, like again and again and again. Venus is like one example, yes. Venus was like supposed to be used multiple times in a turn. That's why you play 3 shot. That's like the only one I could think of. Like, I don't know that you were supposed to. Hold on. The other examples he gave were what?
per turn clause as part of an integral strategy. The Synchro Ignister monster, Sky Strike.
I don't know. He's talking about Ignister Prominence. Like that card really wasn't. That card has a once per turn effect. It's just you can reborn it and do all types of stupid shit with it. So like I would argue that Ignister was not supposed to be used more than once per turn. Otherwise they just wouldn't have made it once per turn. Like it is once per turn, I believe. Snipe Hunter.
Engage, the Agent of Venus.
Venus
Ronin
is, yes.
They ask you how you are.
I'll give you Venus 100%, chat. Venus was supposed to be used multiple times in a turn. Just look at the card.
Really fun, but you just
You were not supposed to summon one shine ball.
They
in
better
turn.
announce a Western Rush Duel release or I'm about to pull up. I'm hungry. I guess I saw this quite a lot in the suggestions. I've personally played, I think, a grand total of 2 hours of the Rush Duel Switch game.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was he talking about Ignister Island? Oh, okay, I thought he was talking about Ignister Prominence. I'm sorry. Too many Ignister cards.
And it was okay. I wasn't crazy about it personally. But hey, if you're that dedicated to Rush Duel, then let me know in the comment section down below. I'm actually curious to see how many people care that much. Mystic Mine to 4. Extra Deck to 17.
No.
Controversial. Something that people have been talking about a decade-long debate is to increase the number of extra deck monsters as the number of game mechanics, synchros, xyzs are introduced. Now Link monsters, etc.,
what?
etc. Who knows what's next? Perhaps it's time we increase the number of extra deck monsters.
No.
I've got a dedicated discussion video on this topic coming down in probably next week, so stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll break that down in complete depth
Oh, I
for
thought the
your
video was
tiny,
on my what?
small brain to understand. Maybe a better game. Of course. How could we forget the most important
Forehead.
DLC in any game? Make it good. Hopefully they patch this in at some point. Master Duel update. Patch 1.7.3. Game's good now. Yeah, all they have to do is bring Tier Limit Ishizu to the game. What about Deck Masters? Ah, yes, Deck Masters, the classic Duel Monster Season 4, Season
4. I think it's
Yu-Gi-Oh!
4.
Anime season, where they had Deck Masters, and during this time we saw monsters aiding their hero to physically join the field. I did an in-depth video discussing
hell?
what a Deck Master is and how that could potentially function practically in Yu-Gi-Oh! I break it down with the possible effects and even example cards of what the mechanic would look like. If you're interested in checking that out, I would recommend it, or even better, if you want to see a new, updated version of this video 3 years later, then do leave a comment down below letting me know. But what is your daily dose of internet? Sorry, wrong video. What is your prediction for Master Row 6? What do you think is coming? Will it be the third scale? The
I thought
burst
he was gonna
summon jump
explain
scare?
more about
Leave a
Deck
comment
Masters.
down below. Follow me on Twitter,
Two
Twitch,
ats, Manny looks
TikTok,
different.
all the
not
social
really,
media,
just his hair.
LinkedIn, become a patron, join my Discord, subscribe, and until next time, adios.
I need to, what's it called? I need to plug my Patreon more. Patreon.